Hello and welcome. Today we're diving into the latest major political upheaval in Bangladesh. After weeks of intense protests, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has resigned and fled to India, marking the end of her two-decade reign. Celebrations broke out across the country as news of her resignation spread. People filled the streets in jubilation, with some even storming the prime ministerial palace. The air was filled with chants of freedom and democracy, as a sense of relief seemed to wash over the nation. The president of Bangladesh, Shahabuddin, responded to the situation by ordering the release of jailed opposition leader Khaleda Zia and student protesters. He also promised new elections and an interim government, aiming to stabilize the country amidst the chaos. The capital, Dhaka, was a scene of both celebration and turmoil. Protesters clashed with security forces, set fire to government buildings, and attempted to dismantle a statue of Hasina's father, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Reports on the death toll from the unrest vary, with some sources indicating between 66 to 135 casualties. With Hasina's departure, Bangladesh faces an uncertain future. The country has long been dominated by the rivalry between Hasina's Awami League and the Bangladesh Nationalist Party. International actors, including the US and the EU, have called for a peaceful transition to a democratically elected government. Concerns have also emerged about the targeting of the Hindu minority, who are often perceived as being aligned with India and Hasina's government. The new government will need to address these concerns and ensure the protection of all its citizens. Hasina's son, Sajib Wazed Joy, has stated that his mother will not return to politics. He expressed disappointment over the protests, defending his mother's legacy and highlighting Bangladesh's economic growth under her leadership. So what led to this massive outcry against Hasina? The spark was a controversial quota system for government jobs, reserving a significant portion for the descendants of veterans of the 1971 Independence War. This policy ignited outrage among young Bangladeshis, who were already struggling with high unemployment rates. Even though the government scaled back the quota, the protests evolved into a broader movement demanding justice for those killed and injured, Hasina's resignation, and democratic reforms. Analysts point to growing frustration with the country's one-party rule and the suppression of political dissent as key factors behind the unrest. Now, the new government faces the daunting task of addressing these deep-seated grievances and meeting the demands of the protesters. The road ahead is challenging, but the promise of new elections and an interim government offers a glimmer of hope for a more equitable and democratic Bangladesh. That's all for now. Stay tuned for more updates on this developing